Welcome, Patriots, to this episode of Ravens Radar. I don't want to spoil it for you today, but today we are on fire, figuratively and literally. We got a lot going on, so let's get to it. If it's in your sights, it's on my radar. We'll be airborne shortly. Welcome back, Patriots, to this episode of Ravens Radar. We have a lot going on in the world today, so let's break it down. I always like to give Patriots what the front line actually looks like, and boy, is it something. There is never a shortage of crises when we've got this administration, but let's start with the top. We've got, unfortunately, another American has been detained, kidnapped, or is being held in Russia. This is a Wall Street journalist, Aaron Gurkosevich. I apologize for any butchering of this gentleman's name, but he's been detained for about a month so far as we know. We aren't clear on what they're saying he's being held. We do know that access to him has been denied by Russia. Their comment was that they tried to get Russian journalists in to America last week and were denied. So we're doing a tit for tat thing that's going on. But seriously, I mentioned if Patriots, if you remember, do you remember this horrific, I will call it a trade that Biden made in July of last year when he traded, petty drug dealer or drug user or drug owner, whatever you wanted to say, petty drug charge of Brittany Griner traded for Victor Boot, who is the merchant of death and a prolific arms dealer and responsible for mass murders across the planet. So we traded Brittany Griner for Victor Boot. We left Paul Whelan behind. And a lot of people have heard me say this is probably the only WNBA trade that people actually watched. But we traded this. So now we've got Aaron, who is detained in Russia, and Biden has a couple of statements. In response to this, Biden has rolled out some, I don't even know what you want to call these. He has rolled out a new sanction that is going to work. And this time, Patriots, it's really, 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 really going to work when we sanction them. But I think we have a clip of Biden's reaction.
Generations to come, you are in a position of extraordinary power. You can change forever the trajectory we are on. You can make the world better.
So yeah, Biden rolled out this time we're going to give them a hostage detained sanction. We're going to sanction the people who we're getting oil from. We're going to sanction our enemy who doesn't respect us and who is running all over us, who we are actually funding a war against, Russia. So we're supporting billions of dollars to Ukraine. And we're thinking that this time Russia's going to take these sanctions seriously. In fact, I think we have a clip of Putin's reaction. You got that right. Putin and pretty much everybody else with common sense reaction to that. Are you kidding me? You're going to try to sanction somebody we need for oil because you shut us down on day one with our pipeline? This is like a bad joke and is a continuance on his bid to run again and have another 4 years to ruin our country. But everybody knows he's not planning on ruining our country for another 4 years. That would be the good news if we didn't know what was coming behind it. It's like the eye of the storm. Oh, wait, the sun is out. Well, here it comes again. And that coming again is the cackling czar who, according to published reports last week, Biden allies are saying she is ready to be president. She's ready to be the first female president. Well, if she can't define what a woman is, then she's not even technically the first female vice president. But Patriots, this is one of those paying attention. Biden is ridiculous. Kamala is even more ridiculous. I am happy to say, though, that it feels like I'm taking kind of pot shots at her. But if you look at it statistically, Kamala and I got the same number of delegates in the primary. The same number of people voted for me to be president as her. And that's saying something. So that's what I want patriots to remember is, you know, the left has a little bit of an issue with facts and truth and reason. And this is what they want. So somebody who was so unpopular that she had to drop out in her own primary. And just for the record, patriots, only Democrats vote in the Democratic primaries. So she was so unpopular among Democrats that she had to drop out. Okay. And then they've combined her with the basement dummy and they've put them together and said, and Biden says, let's finish the job. Let's finish the communism. Let's finish ruining America. We can do this. Wake him up. This gets to the good part. Somebody wake Biden up. Okay. We're getting to the good part, but that's what I want patriots to be mindful of what's going on. Also want to talk about, you know, something that Forgettios dropped on television, which was a few months ago. He actually said that he had cut $1.7 trillion from the deficit, which is ridiculous at best. But the important thing is now Biden is in there between naps trying to get us to kick up the debt ceiling. We want to raise the debt ceiling. Okay. Why do we need to raise the debt ceiling, you ask? It's at $31 trillion right now. And we're in danger of defaulting on our loans. But Biden wants to finish the job. So why are we kicking up the debt ceiling? It's because we are not doing government's fundamental job, which is to balance the budget and safeguard American citizens. Our border is wide open. We've sent $1 billion to the budget, not of the budget to the border, not to secure the border, but to process more people. Bring them in. Come on, no waiting, 2 at a time. So that's what we've decided to do. Is the Democrats have just opened the welcome mat. You know, bring us you're tired, you're broke, you're criminal, yearning to steal stuff. And they have let them in to our country without, I mean, it's literally a matter, and we have estimated almost 1 million waiting in the wings at the border patiently for Title 42 to expire, which it is due to expire in a few days, unless somebody gets off their stick and does America's business. Is anybody paying attention? This is 1 million more, in addition to the 7 to 9 million we have already let in to the country, okay, that are unchecked, unvetted, unscreened, a lot of them unemployed and untraceable. Okay, they are in the country and we are literally bursting at the seams. Our border is wide open. We have crime, drugs, and sex trafficking spiking at rates people would not believe. It's made every town in America a border city. Our economy is on life support. We still have record inflation. We still have kitchen table issues that are crippling, expensive gas. And now we're getting Americans kidnapped. This is a dumpster fire. And the Crypt Keeper actually had the nerve to get on live television, you know, between naps and say, let's finish the job. Patriots, this is what it means. So our founding fathers wouldn't have needed this kind of lead to get involved. So I'm telling you, this is what it means to get involved. It means you should be talking to your congressmen and your legislators and going, you're not going to sign off on crippling our kids with another trillions of dollars of debt that their children won't be able to pay back. You're going to demand that Congress pass a balanced budget. For anybody paying attention, that's their fundamental number one job, and it hasn't been done since the 90s. We can't seem to get a balanced budget. We can't get our spending in check, and we can't seem to get our economy off of life support. So it's going to require some tough times. But the toughest are getting people to the front line, and that's what we do better than anyone. So patriots, I would just like to tell you, Raven, give me a sign. This is it. This is it. It is time, okay, to stop accepting the things we cannot change and change the things we cannot accept. Don't get me preaching in here. You guys know how I do it. Don't get me started. I don't come with breaks. But we can do this. And patriots, today, I'm going to bring you a special guest who has been on the forefront of fighting for this country before it was popular, before it was even at critical mass. And we're going to meet him, the one and only, the legendary, the firebrand Wayne Allen Root, right after this.
We are here to defend democracy for the people.
Welcome back, Patriots. Woo, it is time to get to it. The Root is on fire. We have our special guest in studio today, the one and only Wayne Allen Root.
Hey, Raven, how are you?
Hey, Wayne. Welcome to Raven's Radar. Wayne, you know, a lot of people know who you are. You are an author, commentator, sports collector, just a jack of all trades and just general badass. So thank you for being here, but we need these fire breathers in this time. But to start out, tell everybody what you've got going on. You've got a new book coming out.
Yes.
Or out.
So usually when you say someone's a jack of all trades, then the next sentence is a master of none, right? But in my case, I'm a master of one. I'm a master of political talk, conservative political talk. And I've got a giant audience of millions of conservatives, patriots, and Christians, people of faith. And we've got to get together. We've got to save America. What did Ben Franklin say? We either hang together or we're all surely going to hang separately. And that's what we face right now. It reminds me of the American Revolution. And we either hang together or we will surely hang separately. So I'm trying to rally the troops. I'm like Paul Revere, and I'm the guy who's screaming, the communists are coming. The communists are coming. The border is open. The border is open. And if we don't get our act together, America is going to be gone forever. I know you have young kids. I have 4 kids ranging in age from 15 to 30. And so America is finished for all of them and my future grandkids if we don't get together and save this country. So I've got 2 national TV shows, nationally syndicated radio show, podcast, newspaper column nationally syndicated, and 16 books, including the latest, The Great Patriot Boycott book. Boycott, not boycott, boycott. The great conservative companies to spend your money with, to buy from, and also in some cases, a few of them are publicly traded, and these are the ones you want to put in your investment retirement account. You want to invest in them so that you're giving your money to great conservative, patriotic companies, in some cases, Christian-led companies that believe in God, that believe in prayer, that believe in faith, that believe in all the things I believe in: America, American exceptionalism, capitalism, the military, the police, small business. That's who I support, not Black Lives Matter, not critical race thinking, or critical race theory, not transgender ideology, not the end of America with open borders. So support the right companies. I've got a list of 123 of them, the products they sell, why I mark them as conservative. It's all in the Great Patriot Boycott book. Check it out. You can get it at Amazon or any fine bookstore.
Oh, I'm telling you, Wayne, and this is important. Let's break it down a little bit because you've been blazing this front line longer than I have in terms of trying to rally the troops. But where we are in this country, you're talking about a boycott because half the time we are funding our own invasion. We've got to spend money. They're testing digital currency in these banks. And what do they do once they have control of our money and our guns, Wayne?
Yeah, there's so many things going wrong at once. And I've got kind of a, it's not a billboard anymore, or a blackboard, I should say, anymore. It's a computer screen. And on my desktop, I've got my own digital version of a blackboard, and it's got all the articles I want to write. And it used to be there were like 10, and every week I would choose one of 10. Now I think it's up to like 300. I can't get to them all. There's so many bad things going on and so many stories to write. I can't keep up with them all. But just off the top of my head, here are the things that I think threaten America the most, that almost no other hosts talk about, that almost, especially on Fox News, now that we know Tucker talked about it and they fired him. Dan Bongino talked about it and they fired him. So there's very few left. I'm one of the few left on national TV, if not the only one, who talks about the issues that really matter. And the same thing, Raven, goes for the United States Congress. Yeah, we won the House. Kevin McCarthy's milquetoast. He's not great. He's not horrible, but he's not great. And he won't talk about these things.
Yes.
Number one would be rigged elections. If you won't talk about rigged elections, we're never going to win again. It's like saying somebody murdered someone. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. So he murdered someone. Let him move on with his life. Really? If you don't deal with the murder, how are you ever going to, have a safe society? Well, if you don't deal with stolen elections, how are we ever going to win again? So number one is rigged and stolen elections. Number two, the communist takeover of the United States. And the hallmark of communism is the weaponization of government, silencing conservatives, arresting conservatives, going after your political opponents and indicting and arresting them on bogus charges like they just did to President Trump.
Come on, Wayne, come on.
Right? And the January 6th protesters, all of that's the hallmark of communism.
Yes.
And then beyond rigged and stolen elections and communism is the vaccines, the COVID vaccines that are dangerous, deadly, and the biggest cover-up in the history of the world. Literally, people are dropping dead around you, left and right. As a matter of fact, one of my great favorite people in the whole world, huge Republican, just died 2 days ago. As we record this, 2 days ago, he died. And another friend of mine is on his deathbed right now. The list in my life is probably up to about 60 people that have died or gotten very sick, had massive heart attacks or strokes after being vaccinated. And I asked their families or them if they're still alive. And out of the 60, 58 are vaccinated. So it would be natural that 2 people might have a heart attack or a stroke in your life, but not 60, and 58 out of the 60 are vaccinated. So you see a pattern there, folks. It's like Love Canal in the 1960s and 70s. In one neighborhood, all the kids came up with cancer, and they realized something was wrong. This is a cluster of death with the vaccine, and nobody wants to deal with it. No one in Congress wants to deal with it. None of the networks want to talk about it because they all took Big Pharma's money. Then you have Ukraine, another big issue. It's leading to World War III, nuclear Armageddon, and we've wasted $150 billion on the most corrupt nation in the world. They've just stolen our money. And then you have open borders, the big one, the biggest of them all, other than central bank digital currency that could destroy all conservatives. But if the border opens on May 11th, which it will, they got rid of Title 42, 1 million people, they say, are massed on the other side.
Yes.
We will be invaded by 1 million, and behind them will be tens of millions more. This is the intentional destruction of the United States of America.
This is it, Wayne. This is it. Because I tell people this is the signature fire. Tell them to vote with your wallet. Why? Because we're funding our own invasion. It is to be careful who you elect. Okay. And this is what it is. We've got lazy, soft, milquetoast Republicans who are in there just, they cheated. Do something. We got that.
Well, they
do something.
Raven, they not only won't do something, they won't even talk about it because they're afraid if they even say it, they'll be labeled as a conspiracy theorist. You know what? I'm actually proud at this point to call myself a conspiracy theorist because I've been on TV and radio for 7 years, and every single conspiracy I've ever talked about has come true. It's all proven true. And liberals talk conspiracy theories, and they're all lies. None of their conspiracy theories ever come true. Was there Russian collusion? No. Did Trump make an improper phone call to the president of Ukraine? No. Did Trump do anything bad to liberals? Did he open the border and destroy America? No. Did he hurt black people? Last time I checked, it was the lowest black unemployment in history. So I don't think he was racist. I think he was the opposite of racist. So, was Obamacare actually the savior of our healthcare system, or did it triple everyone's healthcare bills? Everything they've ever said is a lie or doesn't happen or never happened. And everything I say actually happened and comes true and is proven. So the conspiracy theorist label is actually a great label. It means you're telling the truth. Just like extreme right is a great label because it means up till now, I've always been extremely right.
And that's it, Wayne, because you and I are in the fellow fire-breathing category. I have to get a while to get on your level because that's a whole level of boss. But I'm telling you, you are absolutely right. And see, this is the thing. We should have T-shirts at this point, shouldn't we, Wayne? Because I've been called pretty much, and I get the white supremacist. I get the, but Elizabeth Warren is real, and I'm That is Pocahontas. I am the real one, but that's what we have to tell them. And you have to be unapologetic. But see, the essence also, Wayne, of communism is to kind of break them. We're seeing these sunshine patriots. There's a difference between being a patriot and being patriotic. And we need people to step up, stop supporting these countries, stop supporting these politicians, stop. And I mean, I have to honestly say, Wayne, how do I look? This is my first Maybelline free day. No Ulta, no Maybelline. Do you know what a woman is, Wayne?
I know what a woman is. I can define a woman, and the Supreme Court justice that the left just put in cannot define a woman, which is amazing that the Republicans allowed her to become the next Supreme Court justice. Just embarrassing, humiliating, and demoralizing. And so was the re-election of Ronna McDaniel. So was the re-election as Senate Minority Leader of Mitch McConnell. So was the election of our esteemed Kevin McCarthy as the House Speaker. All of these are giant mistakes. We put people in charge who are milquetoast at best, and at worst, they're bribed traitors who are playing for the other team and always trying to screw us over. How many people know that both McCarthy, or I'll say, I'm an opinion guy, and it's alleged that McCarthy and McConnell both took money from that famous crypto company that got in so much trouble, that laundered their money in Ukraine and then sent it back to the Democrat Party. But very few people know they sent back millions to McCarthy and McConnell to use in the Republican primary of the midterms in 2022 to defeat MAGA candidates. Our own party stabbed us in the back. Remember Platoon? William Defoe? He put his arms out like Christ as the Vietnamese were about to murder him because they left him alone in the forest. His own people abandoned him, and he had his hands out like Christ. That's what Republicans got treated. Every good MAGA, America First, Trump warrior got treated that way by McConnell and McCarthy in the last midterm. They wanted our candidates to lose. Fact.
That is, and I was one of those candidates, wasn't I,
right,
Wayne?
Sure.
That was, and you want to talk about we're gonna get down and dirty. This was what it is. People are like, well, a soft Republican, Raven, is better than a Democrat. How? Okay, the Democrats are a known quantity. It's the ones who are selling us out in our own party, and you are preaching. And since we're on that, Wayne, let's get right to it. So let's talk about they tried to perp walk our president, and which has taken him from rock star to, we have got to. So tell us what we need to get done in 2024. The Patriots are listening now, Wayne. Take them home to why we have to get behind President Trump, and we have to let him checkmate this country so we can get it back on track.
Well, now it's not a big reach for me, but months ago, back in November, after we really had a terrible showing in the midterms, even though we won the House, it was an awful milquetoast performance in the House, and then we lost several seats in the Senate, which is embarrassing and ridiculous. It was a year where, with inflation raging and the economy dying and the middle class being wiped out, the main issue was not abortion 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every Democrat ad was abortion. So, it was a terrible performance. You mean the American people voted for abortion and women voted for abortion instead of inflation that's destroying your life? It's insane. It wasn't. It was rigged again, just like 2020 was rigged. A little bit less this time because more people were watching. So they were a little bit more careful, except in Arizona where they stole Carrie Lake's election like nothing that's ever been stolen in the history of the world. So, look, all I could tell you is we've got to win in 2024. After the November milquetoast performance, the media blamed Trump, and most rhinos blamed Trump, and a lot of conservatives blamed Trump, which is ridiculous. I was alone in the media standing there going, he's our only choice to win in 2024. DeSantis cannot beat them. Trump's been through the fire twice, 16 and 20, and then 4 years as president with nonstop vicious kamikaze attacks, suicide bombings, and this guy survived it all and thrived. He's the only one that can defeat the deep state, and if anything, he was too soft on them, and the next time he's president, he's going to wipe them out. So we got to have Trump. He's the only proven one. Well, nobody was listening to me, and the polls showed DeSantis was pulling ahead of Trump. Now look at the polls. I was alone. Now everyone's with me. Trump's up by 40 35 points in a recent poll over DeSantis, 46 points in another poll, 37 points in the Morning Consult poll. You name the poll, Trump's up by double digits, but generally 20 to 46 point lead. And everybody else is in single digits. Pence is at 5 or 6. Nikki Haley's at 1 or 2. There's nobody else that you can even name. There's a guy named Vivek Ramaswamy or something. I can't even pronounce his name. So it's all Trump. He will be the nominee. The reason you got to support him is that he already proved himself one of the great conservative presidents in history up against the entire deep state and the entire DC swamp. The reason you got to support him is they're not trying to indict and arrest Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley or Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever his name is. The only guy they're trying to destroy is Trump because he's the only one standing in their way. And if they can take Trump out and arrest him, put him in prison, or just defeat him in 2024, it'll be one party rule. And after Trump, they're coming for you and me. So just remember, this will be one party rule if we don't win in 2024. And this will be a disaster. They'll come door to door to take your guns away. They'll come door to door to inoculate you with poison experimental vaccines. They'll go door to door to drag the best conservatives away to re-education camp and take your, this is like the Soviet Union, the KGB, East Germany, the Stasi. You've got a taste of what they're willing to do because they did it to Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Next is you and me. Trump is the only answer in 2024. And if he doesn't win, I'm really almost certain we will never get another chance. The window closes. America's finished. So give everything you've got to Trump and spend all your money and support with conservatives only. The Great Patriot Boycott book. I list all the best companies in America to support and to spend money with and to invest in your retirement account so we never give another nickel to the left. The Great Patriot Boycott book. My website's root4america.com. You find my 2 TV shows there. You'll find a library of every show I've done. You find when I'm on live, you can watch it right there. And my radio show is right there. And my podcast is right there. And my newspaper commentaries are right there. Root4america.com. Because, Raven, what do I do all day? I root for America.
Woo! And that's what I love about you, Wayne. But a point of order, Wayne, you weren't alone. I have been right here. I am proud to be a Root sidekick. I have been right here pushing behind Wayne, and I'm 1,000% behind Wayne, and he knows that because, we've got to, we kicked into high gear when, Wayne, my kids, when my daughter was kicked out of school for voting for President Trump in a mock election.
Unbelievable.
And the Warrior...
In Texas?
No, in California, was expelled.
There we go.
And I'm telling you, that's when the Warrior was born. But I am honored to be able to support legends like Wayne Allen Root, Patriots. Give me a sign, Raven. That was it. Okay, get out there and buy. And before I let you go, Wayne, tell them you are coming to Dallas to shake it up and bring the fire, the heat down to Texas.
Actually, let me correct you. I'm not, because the event has been postponed till September. So we'll have new dates for you for September or early October, probably late September. My schedule just wouldn't allow it. There's too much going on. I'm actually leaving this week for a week in Florida. I'm addressing Club 47, the biggest Trump fan club in the world. Should be over 1,000 people waiting for me at a book signing. And then I've got 10 other events lined up. And I just couldn't make Dallas work. I couldn't squeeze it in. But we're going to rearrange it and set it up far in advance for Dallas in early fall. So we've rearranged that event. There's just so much going on. And it's not easy for me to get away. And I've got so many other big events that are already scheduled, like flights on a runway at an airport, that my schedule is just killing me. So I got to save my voice, which, as you hear, is already rough first thing in the morning. And I got to still do 3 hours of radio, hour of TV, podcast, and book interviews all day. So my schedule's crazy. So
But
no Dallas till fall.
I love that voice. That is the signature Wayne Allen Root. And Patriots, he is one of a kind. I'm telling you, he's been dropping the hammer since, before most people knew they needed one. So get behind Wayne. Wayne, we're going to have information on our podcast as well and ravenharrison.com. But you got to get behind the one and only Wayne Allen Root. Wayne, it's been an absolute honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much for getting and sharing that fire with us.
Thank you, Raven. Appreciate all you do. God bless America. RootForAmerica.com is the website. All my TV shows, all my radio shows start there. You can watch them there or click on the link and you'll go to the show. And the Great Patriot Boycott book, grab a copy and spend only the right way with conservative, Christian, and patriotic companies. Wayne Allen Root, RootForAmerica.com. Thank you, Raven. God bless you.
God bless you. And we'll be back right after this.
We are here to defend democracy for the people.
Thank you, Patriots, for joining us for this episode of Raven's Radar. Did I tell you the root is on fire? Oh my gosh, love having Wayne Allen Root. He is a firebrand. He's also a good friend. And I'm telling you, it takes courage to be disliked. It's something I know a lot about. But Wayne and these people, I just want to encourage Patriots that, we should be really honored to have people who will risk as much as Wayne, President Trump, myself, some other people. I mean, it takes a lot. The attacks are relentless. They are constant and they are dirty that come on patriots who are trying to push back against this. I mean, it is a really ugly front line. I tell you, report to this line. That line is dangerous, ugly, and just downright criminal a lot of times. But I tell patriots, when you're a people of faith, this nation was built on God. Our founding fathers believed that. I believe that. And I believe that it's important to honor that sacrifice by realizing that it's not going to be easy. God didn't say all things were easy. He said all things were possible to those who diligently seek him. So that's where we are. So patriots, please get out there, support Wayne, support myself, support these conservatives and these patriots who are risking a lot to bring you the truth and giving you the tools to fight back. And in that vein, Wayne's book will be available, The Great American Boycott. And it's important to support companies and countries who are supporting our freedoms and our liberties and helping us in this fight. So in that vein, and we'll have information on my website, ravenharrison.com, and also on my social media platforms, Raven's Radar and Raven the Conservative Warrior, which is Raven_TX Warrior. In the meantime, I'd like to tell you, Patriots, my book is available for pre-sale. It is on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. It is Raven's Mantle, Fighting the Betrayal of America. And it takes you through what a journey from someone who was raised by 2 retired Air Force lieutenant colonels and is married to a retired C-17 pilot. I have 2 kids that I adore. I am fighting CRT. I am fighting the communism that has found itself on our doorstep that I saw once in the Cold War, and now we're getting ready to go into another Cold War, and just all the things that make a patriot, with the spark being that my then 8-year-old daughter was expelled from school for voting for President Trump in a mock election in an elementary school. And boy, let me tell you, patriots, on that day, the warrior was born. What makes a conservative warrior? Okay, that makes a conservative warrior. And from that day, it became a fight, not just for my kids, but for the America that my parents, all the veterans and law enforcement and spouses and all the patriots, some lost everything to bring us this. And I'm telling you, we're going to make them proud. We're going to do that. So go ahead and check out the book. Join us on the front lines. Donate to Raven Pack as we continue to get out here and fight these battles against the communists. Wars are expensive. We need our patriots. Every little bit helps. And until we come back, patriots, remember, we were made for a time such as this. We are biblical and literal right now. What an honor to be able to make history fighting for our country. Until then, keep fighting.